Hey, welcome back. Speak, assignment number 12. We are getting closer to the truth, although I think it's been pretty apparent what has occurred. And we'll find out a lot more as we continue reading. Now, make sure for assignment number 12, you know what to do. Define your words, write your sentences, answer your questions correctly, and write a really great essay at the end, one paragraph. Choose any one of those, and make sure you insert lots of details and examples, both from your life and from the book, and enjoy. So let's go. Speak. Assignment number 12. It is 4 parts. The first part is third marking period, death of the wombat. Then we have cold weather and buses. Then we have escape, and then we have code breaking. So let's see. Let's see what we've got here today. Let's go. Third marking period, death of the wombat. The wombat is dead. No assembly, no vote. Principal made an announcement this morning. He said hornets better represent the Merryweather spirit than fur and marsupials. Plus, the wombat mascot costume was going to suck money from the prom committee's budget. We are the Hornets, and that is final. The seniors support this decision totally. They wouldn't be able to hold up their heads if the prom had to be moved from the Holiday Inn ballroom to the gym. That would be so elementary school. Our cheerleaders are working on annoying chants that ends in lots of buzzing. I think this is a mistake. I have visions of opposing teams making enormous fly swatters and giant cans of insecticide out of paper mache to humiliate us during halftime programs. I'm allergic to hornets. One sting and my skin bubbles with hives and my throat closes up. Cold weather and buses. I missed the bus because I couldn't believe how dark it was when my alarm clock went off. I need a clock that will turn on a 300-watt bulb when it's time to get up, either that or a rooster. When I realize how late it is, I decide not to rush. Why bother? Mom comes downstairs and I'm reading the funnies and eating oatmeal. Mom, you missed the bus again. I nod. Mom, you expect me to drive you again? Another nod. Mom, you'll need boots. It's a long walk and it snowed again last night. I'm already late. That is unexpected, but not harsh. The walk isn't that bad. It's not like she made me hike 10 miles through a snowstorm uphill in both directions or anything. The streets are quiet and pretty. The snow covers yesterday's slush and settles on the rooftops like powdered sugar on a gingerbread town. By the time I get to Fayette's, the town bakery, I'm hungry again. Fayette's makes wicked good jelly donuts, and I have lunch money in my pocket. I decide to buy 2 donuts and call it brunch. I cross the parking lot, and it comes out the door. Andy Evans with a raspberry dripping jelly donut in one hand and a cup of coffee in the other. I stop on a frozen puddle. Maybe he won't notice me if I stand still. That's how rabbits survive. They freeze in the presence of predators. Okay, so she sees, we now know Andy Evans. We still don't know what specifically Andy Evans did or, was part of doing. And we assume it's at the party, but when she sees him, she freezes. She thinks that maybe if she freezes there in the middle of the parking lot, he won't notice her. I doubt it. He sets the coffee on top of his car and fumbles in his pockets for his keys. Very, very adult, this coffee, car, keys, cut school guy. He drops the keys and swears. He isn't going to notice me. I'm not here. He can't see me standing here in my purple marshmallow jacket. But of course, my luck with this guy sucks. So he turns his head and sees me. And Wolf smiles, showing, oh, Granny, what big teeth you have. That's such an interesting thing that she said. She's being metaphorical, but it's very symbolic. Listen, she says he turns to see her and he wolf smiles. There's a difference between a smile and a wolf smile. Think of the fable, with the Granny and the wolf, right? The smile that he would have given before he would have eaten these kids, or the Granny in the beginning, must have been pretty evil and awful. And that's what he gives to her right now. So he knows exactly the torture that he's causing her, and he's doing it on purpose. He steps toward me, holding out the donut. Want a bite? He asks. Bunny Rabbit bolts, leaving fast tracks in the snow. Get away, get away, get away. Why didn't I run like this before when I was a one-piece talking girl? Such an interesting thing for her to think. Why didn't I run like this before when I was a one-piece talking girl? Now, first of all, whatever happened, she didn't know. She can't blame herself for this. That's a big problem, is that she's blaming herself. She needs to talk to somebody and understand that it's not her fault. Let's find out what it was first. But when she calls herself a one-piece talking girl, so we know she's a non-talking girl, but she calls herself less than one piece. So she's in multiple pieces. She has been broken apart, is what she's telling us. It's just an interesting thought. Running makes me feel like I'm 11 years old and fast. I burn a strip up the sidewalk, melting snow and ice 3 feet on either side. When I stop, a brand new thought explodes in my head. Why go to school? Escape. The first hour of blowing off school is great. No one can tell me what to do, what to read, what to say. It's like living in an MTV video, not with the stupid costumes, but wearing that butt strutting, I do what I want attitude. I wander down Main Street, beauty parlor, 7-Eleven, bank, card store. The rotating bank sign says it is 22 degrees. I wander up the other side, appliance store, hardware store, parking lot, grocery store. My insides are cold from breathing in frozen air. I can feel the hairs in my nose crackle. My strut slows to a foot-dragging schlump. I even think about trudging uphill to school. At least it's heated. I bet kids in Arizona enjoy playing hooky more than kids trapped in central New York. No slush, no yellow snow. I'm saved by a Centro bus. It coughs and rumbles and spits out 2 old women in front of the grocery store. I climb on. Destination? The mall. You never think about the mall being closed. It's always supposed to be there, like milk in the refrigerator or God. But it is just opening when I get off the bus. Store managers juggle key rings and extra large coffees. Then the cage gates fly up in the air. Lights wink on. The fountains jump. Music plays behind the giant ferns, and the mall is open. White-haired grandmas and grandpops power walk, squeak, squeak, going so fast they don't even look at the window displays. I hunt spring fashions. Nothing that fit last year fits now. How can I shop with mom if I don't want to talk to her? She might love it. No arguing that way. But then I'd have to wear the clothes she picked out. Conundrum. A 3-point vocab word. I sit by the central elevator where they set up Santa's workshop after Halloween. The air smells like French fries and floor cleaner. The sun through the skylight is summer hot, and I shed layers, jackets, hat, mittens, sweater. I lose 7 pounds in half a minute. Feel like I could float up alongside the elevator. Tiny brown birds sing above me. No one knows how they get in, but they live in the mall and sing pretty. I lie on the bench and watch the birds weave through the warm air until the sun burns so bright I'm afraid it will make holes in my eyeballs. I should probably tell someone. Just tell someone. Get it over with. Let it out. Blurt it out. There it is again. See, no matter where she is or what she's doing, it's constantly with her, this experience, this trauma. And again, she says to herself, I should probably tell someone. Just tell someone. Get it over with. Let it out. Blurt it out. So she knows she has to. I want to be in 5th grade again. Now that is a deep, dark secret, almost as big as the other one. 5th grade was easy. Old enough to play outside without mom, too young to go off the block. The perfect leash length. A rent-a-cop strolls by. He studies the wax women in Sears window, then strolls back the other way. He doesn't even bow with a fake smile or are you lost? I'm not in 5th grade. He starts back for a third pass, his finger on his radio. Will he turn me in? Time to find that bus stop. I spend the rest of the day waiting for it to be 2:48, so it's not all that different from school. I figure I learned a good lesson and set my alarm clock early for the next day. I wake up on time for 4 days in a row, get on the bus 4 days in a row, ride home after school. I want to scream. I think I'll need to take a day off every once in a while. Code breaking. Hair Woman has been buying new earrings. One pair hangs all the way down to her shoulders. Another has bells in them like the pair Heather gave me at Christmas. I guess I can't wear mine anymore. There should be a law. It's Nathaniel Hawthorne month in English. Poor Nathaniel. Does he know what they've done to him? We're reading the Scarlet Letter one sentence at a time, tearing it up and chewing on its bones. It's all about symbolism, says Hair Woman. Every word chosen by Nathaniel, every comma, every paragraph break, these were all done on purpose. To get a decent grade in our class, we have to figure out what he was really trying to say. Why couldn't he just say what he meant? What would they pin scarlet letters on his chest? B for blunt, S for straightforward? I can't whine too much. Just so you understand what they're talking about, very quickly, I'll tell you, in the book that they're talking about, Nathaniel Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter, a very quick synopsis. A woman has an affair in this town. It's very old. It's like in the 1700s, 1800s in America. So it's very old school. And they're very, very Puritan, this town, like they don't mess around. And a woman has an affair with the town priest, if I recall, and they catch her and they make her wear for the rest of her time a big A on her shirt and on her jackets whenever she walked around to stand for adulteress, to shame her forever, right? So that everybody would always know what she did. It's important, and I'll tell you why in a little while. So that's what they're reading. I can't whine too much. Some of it is fun. It's like a code, breaking into his head and finding out the key to his secrets, like the whole guilt thing. Of course, the minister feels guilty and Hester feels guilty, but Nathaniel wants us to know this is a big deal. If he kept repeating, she felt guilty, she felt guilty, she felt guilty, it would be a boring book and no one would buy it. So he planted symbols like the weather and the whole light and dark thing to show us how poor Hester feels. I wonder if Hester tried to say no. She's kind of quiet. We would get along. Now, this is a huge sentence. Paragraph. Listen to what she said. Let me read it again. I'll go all the way through. We would get along. I can see us living in the woods, her wearing an A, me with an S maybe. S for silent, for stupid, for scared, for silly, for shame. It's very interesting how she links herself to this woman. But listen to what she says. I wonder if Hester tried to say no. She's kind of quiet. We would get along. I can see us living in the woods, her wearing that A, me with an S maybe, S for silent, S for stupid, for scared, for silly, for shame. So she's blaming herself for what happened. She feels ashamed. So the code-breaking part was fun for the first lesson, but a little of it goes a long way. Hairwoman is hammering it to death. Hairwoman, the description of the house with bits of glass embedded in the walls. What does it mean? Utter silence from the class. A fly left over from fall buzzes against the cold window. A locker slams in the hall. Hairwoman answers her own question. Think of what that would look like. A wall with glass embedded in it. It would reflect, sparkle, shine on sunny days maybe. Come on, people. I shouldn't have to do this by myself. Glass in the wall. We use that on top of prison walls nowadays. Hawthorne is showing us that the house is a prison or a dangerous place maybe. It is hurtful. Now, I asked you to find some examples of the use of color. Who can list a few pages where color is described? Fly buzzes a farewell buzz and dies. Rachel Rochelle, my ex-best friend. Who cares what the color means? How do you know what he meant to say? Did he leave another book called Symbolism in My Books? If he didn't, then you could just be making all of this up. Does anyone really think this guy sat down and stuck all of kinds of hidden meanings into a story? It's just a story. Hairwoman. This is Hawthorne, one of the greatest American novelists. He didn't do anything by accident. He was a genius. Rachel Rochelle. I thought we were supposed to have opinions here. My opinion is that it's kind of hard to read, but the part about how Hester gets in trouble and the preacher guy almost gets away with it, well, that's a good story. But I think you're making all of the symbolism stuff up. I don't believe any of it. Hairwoman, do you tell your math teacher you don't believe that 3 times 4 equals 12? Well, Hawthorne's symbolism is just like multiplication. Once you figure it out, it's as clear as day. The bell rings. Hairwoman blocks the door to give out our assignment. A 500-word essay on symbolism, how to find hidden meanings in Hawthorne. The whole class yells at Rachel Rochelle in the hall. That's what you get for speaking up. Great place to stop. She gives herself an excuse to not talk because Rachel Rochelle spoke up and she caught flack for it. She's saying, nobody should ever speak up, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Now, again, she said it before. She knows it, that she needs to speak. She needs to speak fast because it's eating her up inside. She even said it. She called herself before when she was a one-piece girl, meaning she knows she's broken now. She needs to be fixed. She needs to talk it out with somebody. I wish her mom or her dad would talk to her. OMG. Everybody have a lovely day. Thank you very much. Make sure you get this assignment done. That would be assignment number 12.